Ready to really get into some Italian hip-hop today.
Sounds fun.
You're going deep on Issa, El Presidente.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I'm excited to dig into this one. His career is so interesting.
Right. It's not just the music, it's the graffiti, the art. It all kind of blends together.
Yeah. It's super interesting how he's woven all these different art forms together over like 3 decades.
Definitely. So we've got a ton of stuff to go through today, festival descriptions, notes on his art, even some deep dive biographical stuff. You ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it. This should be a good one.
Okay, so let's rewind the clock a bit, back to the 80s. Italy's getting its first real taste of hip-hop, and a young Issa Francesco Cellamaro is his real name. He's hooked, like completely sucked in.
Oh, yeah, totally. It's like that moment when hip hop hit a certain generation and it just clicked.
Right, so think breakdancing, graffiti, the whole scene.
Yeah.
And of course, he's listening to all the American hip-hop legends, Eric B. and Rakim, Public Enemy.
Classic. You can really hear those influences in his early work, definitely.
Oh, for sure. But it's not like he's straight up copying them.
Yeah.
He takes those elements and makes them his own,
Exactly. That's what's so cool about it. He's not just mimicking. He's creating something new, something distinctly Italian.
And that leads us to OTR, right?
Originale trasmissione del ritmo. So good.
1991.
Mm-hmm.
Issa and this group of DJs, B-boys, MCs, they come together to kind of make a statement.
It was huge. They were tapping into something powerful, something that was resonating with a whole generation of Italian youth who were like starving for music that reflected their experiences,
Totally. And then in 97, they dropped Dallas-Aid, which was, are we exaggerating to call this album a game changer?
I don't think so, no. It was raw, the lyrics were complex, and they weren't afraid to get political. They blended social commentary with personal stories in a way that just hadn't really been done before in Italian hip-hop.
Yeah, it wasn't just party music. It made you think. Okay, so then Issa takes that energy and forms Gente Guasta with rapper Polare in 1998.
And they just explode. Inte Guasta wasn't content with just being big in Italy. They wanted to take their music to the world. They were touring all over Europe, spreading Italian rap like wildfire.
Talk about ambitious. But that's Issa for you. He's always pushing boundaries. Which brings us to 2002, when he drops his first solo album, Tutti gli uomini del Presidente.
Which, by the way, is not your typical solo album. He's mixing hip-hop with reggae, dancehall, even throwing in some wildcard influences. It was like he was redrawing the boundaries of what Italian hip-hop could be.
Right. Like, imagine hearing that for the first time back then. It must have been mind-blowing.
Oh, totally. Okay, so now fast forward to 2004, you're in Italy, and this song comes on the radio, Resta Ancora. Huge hit, right?
I bet. It's catchy.
And it got people who might have never listened to hip-hop before nodding their heads. He's collaborating with everyone. Neffa, La Pina, Tormento. He's becoming a household name in Italy.
So cool. And the best part is he's still going strong, still putting out amazing work. His 2023 album, Tutti Uomini del Presidente 2, it's got these amazing reggae and jazz influences.
I know. The man is constantly evolving. But get this, while all of this is happening, while he's making music, touring, collaborating, he's got this whole other artistic life going on.
Wait, like a secret identity?
Kind of. For over 30 years, he's been a major player in the graffiti world. Goes by the name El Crespo.
No, wait. Okay, hold on. We've got to talk about this. From rocking the mic to rocking spray cans. Seriously.
Seriously. And we're not talking about just tagging his name on a wall. This is large-scale murals, intricate lettering, a style that's bold, playful, and totally unique. His work has been featured all over Europe, even in New York City.
Wow. Okay, so we've got Issa the rapper and El Crespo the graffiti artist, but those are just two sides of the same coin, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he's keeping those identities separate.
Yeah. Absolutely not. And this is where things get really exciting. Because Issa doesn't just dabble in these different mediums, he finds ways to blend them, to make them speak to each other. It's like this incredible, layered, artistic conversation he's having with himself.
Exactly.
It's like this other side of him, but it's totally connected to his music and his graffiti. It's like he's taking all these different pieces of himself and putting them together to create something even bigger.
Okay, so we've talked about the graffiti El Crespo.
Yeah.
Then he takes it even further and starts doing these drawings and collages, right? Actual canvases and galleries.
Yeah. It's like, okay, first he's rocking walls with spray paint, and then he's like, you know what? I'm going to hit the canvas now. And his first solo exhibition, Tributes. Get this. It was held in a 4-star hotel in Milan. A 4-star hotel.
No way.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's wild. Talk about making a statement. You don't see that every day.
Definitely not your average gallery opening.
Yeah.
But it really works with his style. You know, the boldness, the unexpected, and his subjects. He's got these portraits of his musical heroes, Jay-Z, Slick Rick, Donna
That's
Summer.
so cool.
And then he's got these amazing mythical creatures, totally unique, almost like he's creating his own mythology. It's awesome.
It's like he's pulling from all these different places, mixing it all together, and coming up with something totally new, just like with his music.
Exactly. And this is where you really see how his background in graffiti comes into play with his art, too.
Oh, totally. Like that bold lettering style he uses in his graffiti that shows up in his paintings and stuff, too.
For sure. Those really graphic elements, the movement, you can almost hear the rhythm in his visual art. You know what I mean?
Totally. Like the rhythm of the music and the visuals of the graffiti are all coming together in these paintings and collages.
Exactly. It's wild how he does that. And then there's this exhibition, Characters, back in 2022. It really highlights how connected all of his work is. They showed his stuff next to this other artist, Macedo. Really talented.
Oh, cool. What was that like seeing those two styles together?
So imagine you walk in, and on one side, you've got Issa's Facciacce series, these super vibrant, almost chaotic pieces with these mixed media faces that are full of life, you know, an attitude.
I can picture it.
Yeah. Some are playful, some are a little intense. It's all about how you interpret them. And then, totally different vibe. You have Macedo's Sideralis series. Super clean lines, geometric, minimalist, a total contrast.
Wow. I bet that was interesting seeing those two styles playing off of each other.
Yeah, totally. You think, how are these going to work together? But that's what was so brilliant. The curator put them together to make you think about those contrasts. Order and chaos, control and spontaneity.
So it's like this conversation between the art, right? Like they're speaking to each other in a way.
Yes, exactly. It wasn't just about looking at the pieces themselves. It was about how they work together. And that just shows how open Issa is to pushing boundaries, working with other artists, other styles. It just shows you the power of art to connect things, you know?
That makes sense. It's like that artistic dialogue we were talking about before. And it goes way beyond just the gallery walls. It connects back to his music, the graffiti, everything he does.
100%. And you know what? That brings us to Issa today. Still going strong, still evolving, but maybe in a way that's a little more, I don't know how to put it, maybe a little more nuanced than before.
Yeah, nuanced is a good word for it. Like, he's not just trying to make a big statement anymore. It's more about the subtleties, the details. He's really thinking about what he wants to say.
So after everything we've talked about, the music, the graffiti, the art, what would you say is like the common thread? What ties it all together?
Well, obviously, there's this drive to innovate, to experiment that's always been there. But there's also this awareness of the world, this sense of social responsibility that comes through in different ways.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, even back in those early OTR days, they weren't afraid to get political, to talk about the issues. Totally. And that never really went away. It's just evolved. Like his recent album, Tutti gli uomini del Presidente 2, musically, it's chill, you know, reggae vibes, jazz influences. But the lyrics, he's exploring some deep stuff. Identity, social justice, what it means to be human.
And he does it all with this incredible sense of style. Like whether it's a rap song, a mural, a painting, you just know it's Issa. He's got this unique voice.
He really does. It's raw but thoughtful at the same time. You know what I mean? Like he can be super high energy one minute, then totally introspective the next.
Totally. Okay, so for someone who's never even heard of Issa, what's the one thing you want them to remember about him?
I think it's this. Issa's career shows you what happens when you're not afraid to try new things, to push boundaries, to just go for it. He's a rapper, a graffiti artist, a visual artist, whatever he wants to be.
He's an innovator, for sure. And I think that's inspiring, don't you?
Yeah.
In a world where everyone's trying to fit in, it's cool to see someone who just does their own thing.
100%. Issa reminds us that art can come from anywhere, surprise you, challenge you, connect with you in ways you never thought possible.
So to wrap things up, if you're looking for an artist who breaks the mold, someone who's constantly evolving, go check out Issa. Trust me, you won't regret it.
And who knows, maybe it'll inspire you to tap into your own creativity.
That's what we like to hear. Thanks for diving into the world of Issa with us today. This was awesome. Until next time.